Breathing through the wound as a wounded healer. Sanibonani igama lami nguNomfundo Mkabayi KaGcugcwa, the Zulu Soul Doula. Welcome to Unfiltered Thoughts. And yes, I'm back behind a picture and a voice note, but hey. And the reason for that is because I just thought about this, and it's something that happened earlier this morning, and I'm busy cooking in the kitchen, and whipping up a camera is not going to work right now. So this morning, I had the most incredible sessions. One with a coach that I have from the fellowship that I'm on, which is Decano. The other one with an amazing friend of mine, Ukanyisa, who does strats conversations with me. It's the most incredible sessions that you can ever have with a person who understands who you are, and how you show up in the world. So in our conversation today, we got to a point where Batch was asking me something specific, and she was asking me about pillars. And I kept on going around and round and round, and she was speaking more and more about why I need these pillars. And I was giving her excuses, why I have one pillar and why my whole model of working comes from this one pillar. And I don't even call it a pillar. I just call it something that allows me to do the work that I do without actually having it as a solid thing, like as a pillar, you know? And after going around and around, she was trying to help me understand why it was important for me to have pillars to this model I'm trying to create. And I was just fighting her. And then eventually I was like, hold on one second. I think I just need to figure this out quickly. And I realized that the reason why I was really pushing back about this concept she was trying to deliver to me was because of the word she was using, which was pillar. And the foundation of this whole thing I'm trying to create is laid on pillars, right? And then I realized that the word pillar and what they mean in the way that we show up on a daily basis was a trigger. And after like a conversation that took about 10 minutes of back and forth and me explaining to her, I realized it was such a trigger because of personal experiences around pillars, you know. As human beings, we have our own value systems that we live on. And once upon a time, I used to have these pillars as foundation building blocks of how I engage the social structure, how I engage relationships, how I engage people in my life. And through the years, those pillars have become very constraining for me, and they've caused a lot of pain and a lot of frustration and a lot of hurt. And as we are talking with Kanyisa, I'm like, girl, this is exactly what I mean when I say I am a wounded healer. Like, this is what it is in real time. Here is something that you are trying to, or a concept that you're trying to help me understand, so I'm able to build the business model and the NPO model that I have for the two enterprises or the two organizations that I run, which is Kwamakuta Way Africa Movement, which is the NPO that I founded that helps families integrate healing and land beautiful things, and Initiate Wellness, where I do the consulting and the products and all those other beautiful things. Here is something that will be fundamentally amazing, or this concept that is fundamentally amazing, to allow me to create these structures or build onto these structures that I have and make them even better. But I'm fighting her on this concept because I was triggered and my brain couldn't correlate that I am fighting the word pillars. I'm not really fighting her. I'm not really going against what she's saying, but because of the language that she's utilizing, I am not wanting to understand because my brain is like, la 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 la, na bafuna ukufaka amaketango again. Here is this thing coming up again that has caused so much pain in your life, and how you've had to kind of work through certain things, certain value systems, because you had pillared them or you had put them into pillars, and you've had to integrate other ways of knowing for you to change the way you were doing things to another way. So it's caused a lot of pain, right? This long-winded way of me saying When I say I am a wounded healer, I do not take those words for granted. It is so real because it is even in the way that I am trying to create foundations to facilitate healing or models to facilitate healings, I am still having to encounter my own triggers and work through them while I'm creating these things, And we walk into the world, we walk out there in the world as human beings and we experience so many things and we are triggered by so many things. And sometimes these things are so heavy that we are not able to push through the things that we need to do. If I didn't get to a place where when me and Kanyisa were speaking, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm realizing that I'm pushing back because of the word pillar that you are using. And now I need to unravel the pain that comes with this word so I'm able to carry on and engage you on these things that you are trying to help me strategize while I'm building these beautiful structures in my life. So yeah, I hope this lends itself to you. I know I've just gone on a long-winded, talk right now. But yeah, I really hope it lends itself to yourself. When I say I'm a wounded healer, I'm fully aware of how things that are also there to help me, I will push back on them because I'm triggered by what is being said or how it's been said. And sometimes it takes a moment for us or for me to be able to engage with whatever I need to engage with because I am triggered. But because the journey and the reality is that I'm very aware that I am wounded and I'm still facilitating healing, I'm able to try figure this thing out. So I hope you are able to do that for yourself. So I hope that you are able to kind of hold yourself accountable in moments whereabouts things don't feel like they are comfortable and you are just like, you know what, I'm uncomfortable right now. Please ask yourself, why am I uncomfortable? Why am I pushing back on this thing? What is this thing triggering for me? Because in those questions, we are able to find pieces of ourselves that start healing and we are able to reframe things that normally would not be able to hold us. And now because you're able to reframe it, it holds you better. So, igama lami nguNomfundo wakazama Mkabayi KaGcugcwa, the Zulu soul doula, and I am a wounded healer. As I facilitate healing, I am healing in the process.